Hi, my name is Texas.Mcham. I'm lead counsel for Mcham Law, and I'd like to take a few seconds to talk to you about what you should do if your spouse files for divorce. The absolute first thing you should do, in my opinion, is not delay. The main thing is if your spouse has filed for divorce against you, the clock is ticking. There are deadlines that you have to meet. If you fail to meet the deadlines by filing an answer, your spouse is in control. They can take a default judgment against you, which means they get to pick. They get to pick what things they keep out of the marriage. They get to pick what debts you have to pay. They get to pick where your kids live. They get to pick when you get to see them. And they get to pick how much child support you pay. So contact an attorney as quickly as you can. It's very important to gather evidence if your spouse has filed for divorce against you. They may have already been planning this for quite some time and have secured all the evidence they need for their position. You've got to take steps quickly and decisively to gather the information you need to prove your own points and also to defend yourself against any attacks that they may make against you. The very first thing you need to do is secure your computer. You're going to need the evidence that's on it. You're going to need the information that's on it later, so get it. If it's a laptop, put it someplace secure. If it's a PC, unplug it from the wall and take it and put it in your car. The next thing you need to do is go online and pull up each and every single statement for the past year and make a copy of it. We do this to show where money's coming in and where it's going. In other words, who's making the money and who's paying for what. After you've done that, you want to go and pull up the statements for your credit card. Make a physical copy. You want to be able to, again, show where money's coming from and where it's going. After you've dealt with the online information, you want to move to the physical information. You want to pull up actual physical documents. You want to find physical documents around the house that are going to be important to your case. Things like, well, credit card bills again. If you're getting statements in the mail, snag them and we'll use that information later. You're also going to want to find things like recent pay stubs, both for yourself and your spouse. Pay stubs are the center of the fight when it comes to child support. You're also going to want to gather up things like your tax returns and W-2s. Again, we're going to be talking about who makes money and how much, and who spends money and how much. You're also going to want to define things like your mortgage paperwork, titles to cars. You should probably also secure your passport or any important birth certificates or other identifying documents. The next thing you're going to want to look at are electronic communications. This can be emails. Those are probably going to be on that computer that we were talking about earlier, but also text messages are becoming incredibly common, and we're seeing a lot of them in trials. One trick you can do with that is take your cell phone with the text messages on it, make photocopies of the screen that has the text on it. That way you can show a physical copy of what was said. Now, it's incredibly important to also talk about the fact that you do not need to invade your spouse's email. Do not hack into your spouse's email. It is a crime, and the courts are becoming more and more aggressive about dealing with that.